I watched Dodo So So La La So, and here is what I thought. So if you don't know anything about the show, here's a little synopsis. Dodo So So La La So is a K-drama about a talented pianist. Her name is Rara, and she lands on some hard times, and then she ends up going to a small town to kind of have a fresh start. And then there is one person there who is going the extra mile to help her out, giving her money, being there, helping her out with her situation. And that person's name is June. And he does more than he needs to and helps her with a whole new life in the small town. And those are our two main leads of this show. Okay, so that is a small synopsis of the show. And now we will be getting into some spoilers. And do you want to put like a warning or a disclaimer? If this is a show that you loved, I would click off now, because you really might not like what I'm about to say. And I'm sorry if this turns more into a rant than a review, but I'm gonna tell you how I feel. Okay, here we go. This show annoyed me so much. I would watch it and I was liking it, then hating it, and then later they would win me back. But ultimately, it was just a disappointment. And the reason I even chose this show in the first place was because I wanted a cute show that would put me in a good mood. And usually, typical K-drama, even if it's not the best, like an average one, will put me in a good mood. I'm like, okay, great. And that's what I really wanted and needed at the time I started the show. But unfortunately, this show did not do that. I think one reason I didn't love this show so much is because I was literally rooting for any other couple that was not the main couple. There were times I was rooting for them, but then something would happen and they would make me not want to root for them again. But there are some people in the show I was rooting for, and that was Mr. Kim. Loved him. MVP of the show. And I love seeing and hearing about his love story with him and his wife. And I love that he just wanted to learn piano and play the song. So special to his wife. That relationship, it was one of the bright sides of this TV show. The other couple that I was rooting for was like the young teen couple, the two characters that were like in school and they were kind of friends. I thought they were so cute and they were just so hilarious together. And she kind of wanted the main guy, June, and he was just there waiting until it was his turn, until she kind of like fell for him. He was just always there for her as a friend, but you could tell he liked her more than a friend. But he was just there being her friend until I guess she was ready and he could convince her that we should be together or confess his feelings. But finally, when he asked her to be his girlfriend, guys, I was just like, oh my goodness, the effort he put in. And I guess there was so much building up until this point. They had known each other for so long. So I think it made sense he did all this. But I was just like, wow. He like set up and decorated this whole place so that when she walked in, he had a video playing for her. And I guess it was a cute video of like how he saw her. And it was videos he'd taken of her, and like, I just thought it was really cute. I just loved how he did it. And I loved that scene. It was so cute. So yeah, I was definitely rooting for them. And I was rooting for Mr. Kim's relationship. Loved hearing about that love story. So those were the best parts of the show, in my opinion. I loved them. And if it wasn't for them, I don't know how I would have gotten through this show. We talked about the good. Now let's get into things that I hated about this TV show. One of the things I did not love was how every guy that was into Rara literally lied to her. I did not like that at all. So the first guy I'm going to talk about is the crazy psycho guy that basically kidnapped her. Not that he was really in the running for being with her, but this man did lie to her in the most extreme way, but he did. And he also omitted and did not tell her how they first met and where he knew her from, which makes sense because he was a bad guy. But again, this was one of the guys that was attracted to her and liked her, and he lied to her. He also turned out to be a killer. So yeah, not the best person, but this is the most extreme version. Another man that was interested in her was Dr. Cha. I didn't really like his character in the beginning, but eventually I grew to like him. But he also did want to pursue a relationship with her. And the way he knew her, he never really told her that throughout the entire show. Never told her that he was friends with her fiance. And I believe he was at her wedding, but she didn't know that he was there. The fact that he never told her this bothered me, and that he was omitting that from her as well. Again, I can understand when you like first kind of meet someone and you don't tell them everything right away, but like they grew really close as friends. So the fact that he never told her that bothered me. Again, another guy that was interested in her that lied to her and omitted the truth from her. Did not like this. And now we're going to the third man, June, the main guy. He also lied a lie of omission to her as well. And he was the one that got the closest to her. He was her boyfriend, and he never told her how they originally met, where he first saw her. So she thought the first time they met was at her wedding, because that's where she she remembers him. He came in, he had a bloody nose, got in her wedding dress, and he fixed it. That's what she remembers. Then later, she kind of finds out they had met before that, and it was at her piano recital, which was her last performance. And she even confronted him about it. She was like, "Oh, I remember when we met, blah, blah." And you could tell something was off. He's like, "Oh, that's all you remember?" And at that point, he could have confessed. He could have told her the truth, because at this point, they were together. They've been together. They were, they got to know each other a while. He could have said, actually, this, that, and other thing. But he never said anything. So no, they actually met at a cafe. He saw her for the first time, let her go in front of him. Really sweet. They had a cute little conversation at the cafe, but he never told her like that's where they originally met. Eventually, she figured it out. But I was like, why will he not just tell her? I just did not understand that. And because they had gotten so close, they were dating in a relationship, and he never said anything. And again, this little lie of omission of how they first met, it wouldn't bother me as much if he didn't continuously do it throughout the show. So throughout the show, there was a lot of things he lied to her about, didn't tell her about, and I just didn't like that was a pattern with him. And I'm sorry, I'm just like, I don't understand why he just continually doing that. Because to me, from his actions, he was a very caring guy, cared a lot about her, wanted to be with her, would do anything for her, but then he kept all these secrets from her. I didn't like it. So I was rooting for our main couple until a certain point in the show. And that point was when I found out our main character, June, was still in school. And Rara had graduated. Basically, from what it seemed from when I was watching, she kind of basically graduated from college, and he was still kind of in high school. And definitely correct me if I'm wrong, but from the context of the show, and from later finding out that his age was 19, he was in like a high school-esque year, and she was 24. She had graduated from like college. This is the equivalent of, from what I was watching the show, the subtitles of what it seemed like their schooling was. So this man, boy, is going around making everyone think that he is 24. He even did tell Rara that he was 24 when they met on her wedding day. And so she thinks he's 24, thinks he's around her age, and they're getting to know each other. They're dating. And she doesn't know his real age. She doesn't know that this dude is in high school, is basically a teenager that she's dating. And I did not like that at all. I didn't even like when they revealed it. I was like, this is the storyline we're going with, really? No. I am not a big fan of relationships of when someone is a teenager and they're dating someone that is kind of not in high school or not relatively close to their age when they are still in school. And I do feel in some parts of the show when Rara found out his real age, she was kind of hesitant to date him, which completely understandable. But some way he convinced her, and she still continued to date this boy. And the way this show was really trying to get me to root for this relationship was, in my opinion, ridiculous. Like, I'm so sorry, that was not for me. I was not rooting for them. Once I found out he was in high school and she was 24, I was like, no, thank you. I'm done. I was like, bring someone else in the mix and add that on top of all of his lying. It's a no for me. I know this was our main guy, but June really got on my nerves. First, lying about his age and actively pursuing Rara, knowing he was lying and she was 24. No. If he just wanted to be friends, I think she would have been okay with that. But he was actively pursuing her. He was the one that initiated a lot of their relationship. He was going to make the first move. He was the one to ask her to be his girlfriend, and he was doing all this while lying to her about how old he was. I just did not like that. Another part that bothered me was the fake wedding scene. So at this point, Rara had broken up with June because his mom kind of asked her to break up with him because, like, anytime you're hurt, anytime you need something, he will leave school. He will leave and like come and try to help you. If I didn't mention this before, he originally ran away from home, and then they finally found him, got him back home, but his mom's like scared he's gonna run away again. Anyway, Rara had broken up with him, and I understood where the mother was coming from. So she's like, she broke up with him and said, I think you should focus on school right now. I'm breaking up with you. sorry, maybe we'll meet again later. You know, like when things are different, maybe we'll meet up again. Okay, they broke up. So there was a fake wedding scene, but at the time you didn't know it was fake. He hears that she is going to be getting married. And who's she getting married to? Dr. Cha. And he finds out the wedding is today. So what does he do? He runs and finds where the wedding's happening and goes to stop the wedding. And don't get me wrong, I don't mind an objection. I don't mind I object when someone's like, you're going to marry the wrong person. I love you. Like, I don't mind when it's at the right time. And if I actually like the couple. But he decides to object. And by the time he gets there, it looked like they had already said their vows and they were like leaving as a married couple. He doesn't even say object. He opens the church. It was really dramatic. He opened the church doors, grabs Rara, and runs out the church together. And when I tell you, when that scene happened, I was fuming. I was so upset. I was like, the nerve of this boy, still in high school, teenager, trying to get his studies done. The nerve of him to come up in this wedding after she broke up with you. She's 24 and you decide, no, you're not getting married to him. Even after they literally already said their vows, it's too late. But he grabs her and they run away. I was just so annoyed. I feel like if they wanted to do that scene, they should have done it a different way. But I did not like that scene at all. And it made me dislike June even more. I just did not like him. And it just bothered me so much that he was 19 and he really thought, no, like I'm still in school and everything, but no, you're not marrying this man because we're meant to be. I was like, you are a child. She broke up with you. Eventually, we do realize that the wedding was fake and they didn't really get married. It was just for advertising sake. But like, what if she really was getting married and you just came in there? Like, what if she moved on, man? I just couldn't. Another scene that made me dislike this man even more was the airport scene. And if you've seen the show, you probably know what I'm thinking about. So she's there to meet her piano teacher, has flowers. She's at the airport to pick her up. And her and June had broken up by this point. He's like, I don't love you anymore. Break up. So they had broken up at this point. Hadn't seen him in a while. At the airport, she sees him with his new girl. And when I tell you, he looks right at her and ignored her. Like, we know they saw each other. He walked right by her, did not say hi, did not acknowledge her at all, and kept it pushing. And when I tell you, I was upset. I was like, you mean to tell me you wanted to be in a relationship with this woman, pursued her, lied to her about your whole life, about your age, still pursued her, still convinced her to be in a relationship with you. Then you broke her heart and you couldn't even say hi to her at the airport. Not a nod, not a hi, how you doing? You just blatantly saw her and ignored her. The audacity of this child. I was livid. She did nothing wrong in this situation. If anything, you were the one causing all the problems, doing all the wrong things, and you treated her that way in the airport. I was so mad. I was like, this woman deserves better. No. And like, she was heartbroken. I would have been too. I was like, okay, you couldn't even say hi. The way he just ignored her, like she did not even exist. No, I was not with it. I was upset. Okay, so let's talk about the ending, because this is what made me dislike him so much. This is what made me hate the show even more, because I had my highs and lows with the show, but I was like, okay, it's getting okay. No, the ending really put the nail in the coffin. So in the end, we realized that he was sick, like very, very sick. I believe he had some type of blood cancer, and he also did not tell anyone. The only people that really knew what was going on were his family. Which I understand. If you're dealing with something very serious, I can understand you not wanting to tell certain people, not wanting anyone to know. But the level he took it to was what I do not like, what I did not agree with. Him and Rara at this point are kind of back together in communication. He says that he's gonna go abroad, like I believe to the States, and going to go there for school. But she's, still in Korea. She's gonna stay there. So they talk on the phone, they text and everything. So she thinks he's just there for school. He's actually there because he's getting treated for this illness he has. But she does not know that. She's having this Christmas recital in the town. She invites him to come, saying, can you come? It's Christmas time. Will you be on break around then? And he's like, yeah, I'll be able to make it. That should work. So she asked him, okay, let's play this piece together. So practice this while you're there and we'll play together for this type of little gathering recital. And he was like, got it, I'll do it. So the Christmas recital comes around. And he is not there. She's texting him, trying to figure out where he is. He texts her back saying, oh, my plane got delayed. I'm probably not going to be able to make it. I have this video of me playing, so you play with the video and we'll do that. It was very cute. They played it. He was in the video, like a pre-recorded video, and she played with him. Very cute. Then we get to later that night. She's still waiting up for him, but he doesn't walk through the door. His mother does. I'm just getting so annoyed thinking about this scene right now. Okay. So his mom comes in, he sees Rara and sits her down and tells her June was really sick and there's a reason he couldn't come and he passed away. And she was like, no, I just texted him a few hours ago. He texted me this, he was playing piano, and the mom's like, no, that was a month ago. And I was like, oh my goodness, he really passed away. This is so sad. And I was frustrated that he didn't let her know the truth so she could prepare herself or like say her final goodbye. But I wasn't like extremely mad at him or anything. I just wish she had a chance to say goodbye to him. And I was so sad. Everyone in the town that knew him when he lived there was very sad as well. They were mourning his loss. And this show even had me tearing up. I was like, oh my goodness, I didn't think I liked this character, but this is really sad because she really did care for him and love him. So then we skip to the time jump 5 years later. During this time, they're talking about how they miss him. And at this time, Mr. Kim had passed away as well. So they're talking about how they miss them, to always keep them in their memory and never forget them. But it seems like she had moved. She's still sad about it, but she's kind of comes to terms with it and moving on with her life. So she's sitting there playing piano and someone walks in her door and it's June. He walks in and surprises her and she's literally in shock because she thought he was dead. I was also in shock too because I was like, this can't be real. She must be imagining this or dreaming. No. This man literally was alive and came in to surprise her 5 years later. And when I tell you, I was like, this is how we're going to play this right now. I was like, nope, I'm so done with this show. So done. You mean to tell me you made her and everyone in that town believe that you were dead for 5 years? 5 years. And then you decided to come back in her life. He said he wanted to wait until he was fully recovered and then come back, right? I was like, are you serious? I'm like, dude, that is not the way to do it. And the fact that he got his mom to come and tell her, oh, my son died. No, I was done. It was the combination of everything for me. It was that he lied that he was sick and made her think he was coming to this Christmas recital, had his mom come there, tell her that he died, and then he comes back 5 years later into her life. What if she had moved on? What if she had found someone else? 5 years is a long time. And at that point, you finally come to terms that someone that you really truly loved had passed and they're no longer in your life, and then you begin to move on. But now this man comes in, oh, I'm back, I'm alive. Like, okay, I'd be happy at the moment, but I'd be so upset that you made me think you were dead. Like, if you really wanted to wait until you fully recovered, you could have just broke up with me. You could have stopped texting me. You didn't have to fake your death. That is the utmost extreme thing you could do. And I was like, you made me think this man was dead. You made me shed a tear for this man and didn't even really die. Like, I don't know what this show was doing, but I was upset. I was like, no. I was like, they had a chance. They had a chance for me to be, okay, the show is decent. But then that happened and that reveal happened at the end. And I was like, nope, I'm done. I don't like the show. Nope. And my thing is, this was his pattern. He just always lied to her and kept things from her. And that last thing, like telling her, letting her think he died when he really didn't. Another lie. And she was okay with all of it. She was just like, okay. And they were in a relationship. Live happily ever after. No. Run. Find you a better man that will not lie to you. I just couldn't. And I'm like, maybe, I was trying to think, I was like, what would make me think this would be okay? Or like, I feel like if they showed more of his point of view when he was sick, what he was going through in his mind, thinking that this was the best decision that he could come up with. No, I need to make her think that I'm dead. I think if they showed maybe his point of view of him making this decision, being really sick and everything, and then coming out of it, maybe I would have been more compassionate. But no, we only saw her point of view. And I understand that they want the audience to think he passed. But no, I didn't like it. That was, for me, the worst thing they could have done at the end of the show. I would have preferred they end it like he passed, she still thinks of him, plays the piano, maybe has a dream of him or a dream of what their future could be. I don't know. But the way they ended it, no. I didn't want that. I was upset. I don't know what else to say, but like how much I disliked this show with a passion. I didn't even really have that high of expectations. I just wanted something decent. Just decent. You could be an average TV show. And honestly, it wasn't the best. It had its highs and lows. If it was just a teensy bit better, I would have been okay. But it was just, to me, in my opinion, so bad. Our main male character did not like him, the decision he made. did not want to be together. And the thing was, I had this on my watch list for a while because there was a point I really wanted to see this, and I was like, okay, it fell in the back of my mind, and I was like, let me watch it. It looks cute. Let me try it out. Why was I wrong? So yeah, sorry about this rant review. Sorry if you enjoyed this show and you decided to continue to listen to me just tell you everything I hated about this show. So apologies for not liking your favorite show, but it is what it is. So after watching the show, I wonder if you can guess what my rating will be. It's a 1 star. And let me just tell you, it was gonna be a 2. And then I was going through this review and putting my thoughts down on paper, and I was like, you know what? This is not even worthy of a 2 star. It's a 1 because I just hated it so much. And I don't remember the last time I rated a show 1 star. I would not recommend this show to anyone at all. Like, I would not recommend this. I would say if you're thinking about watching it, don't. To me, it's not worth it. And I feel bad because people put work into this show. But in my opinion, it just wasn't good. It's not worth your time to even watch it. If you have seen Dodo So So La La So, let me know what you think. And if you did like it, again, sorry, but put in the comments why you liked it, because I would truly like to know. Because for me, I just could not. Maybe you don't mind the type of relationship with a teenager and an adult, like maybe that doesn't bother you as much as it bothers me. So maybe that's one reason. I feel like if he was not in high school, I would have liked this significantly better. I would have liked it a lot more. But unfortunately he was. And even if he did all the lying and he was older, I think I would have at least given this maybe a 2 to 3 star. But it was with his lying and his age, a combination of a lot of things that just made this show not for me. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. Feel free to check out any other TV content as well. I'll link my website below. Feel free to follow me on any of my socials. All of them are ATS_MGO on all platforms. Feel free to like and subscribe if you liked this video. Hopefully you have a good rest of your day, week, month, and hopefully a good rest of your year. And until next time, bye.